Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome along to the fifth. Now, I can't believe it's number 5, but it's the fifth Middleham Park pub quiz. Well, according to the government, anyway, only a couple more weeks to go. Some good news this week from a racing standpoint, of a racing front. I'm sure you'll have all seen the Racing Post front cover today that we're going 5-2 on. That racing will resume in May. Which is obviously great news for everybody involved in racing. Everybody really, that we can start to hopefully get back to some form of normality and get your horses in on the race course and hopefully in the winners' enclosure very soon. Quiz, big one this week out of 60 points. So hopefully it won't take too much longer than usual. Normally rocking around the hour mark, aren't we? And we'll try and keep it around there. I'm seeing a lot more people engaging in the chat this week, which is great. Good to have sort of a catch up, if you like, and hopefully you can spot a few names in there that you're familiar with, maybe have a few joint shares with. I know everybody's dying to know. It's a bit boring, a bit predictable, a bit like me, but it's a glass of red again this week. I might try and mix it up next week. I was tempted to go with gin, but my sister very kindly nominated me to do a 5k this morning. This afternoon time, did it around lunch, and I only did 4.93. Didn't quite finish it, so I've not posted that time. I will be waiting until tomorrow. We'll go again. So that's why I'm on a bit of red. If we'd started on the gin a bit earlier, we might have not made the quiz. Standard rounds again. We'll do the same sort of. No tasting notes as such. I'm not really a wine connoisseur. I know it's 13.5%. So hopefully I make it through the music round. There's a slight change to that this week. I will elaborate on that at the time. It's nothing too sinister. Obviously, we can't play copyrighted music. But it was a slight change to that, or there's a bit more of a structure rather to it than traditional. It is a little bit food and drink heavy. You might have guessed that from the picture round this week. That's by no design. Tom Denham does the photos each week, so big thank you to him for doing that yet again. But there are quite a few food and drink related questions. You can probably tell. Lockdown is treating us a bit too well, if you like, so hence the 5k today. Need to try and get back down to my racing weight for when racing resumes. Sprouts just wandered in. He's well. He's had a good week. He went outside for the first time. He's not microchipped, so we keep him in. He's been out on a lead for the first time this week. That's big news in Sprouts' life. And what else is there to report this week? Johnny Fox has done a sterling job again on his Facebook. Again, if you haven't seen it, please do head over and head over and see his videos on there. We do have a few famous faces with us today. Quite a few trainers are joining us for the first time, and quite a few new faces, as well as obviously the regulars who are here every week. I know Nikki Stokes is here for the first time. Anybody else who here? Richard Farhe's joined us for the first time. So he's already alluded that he might be looking at Google already. So hopefully we catch him out on one or two. But good to have you all on board, and welcome to those who this is your first one, and obviously welcome back again to those who are here for, well, repeat offenders, if you like, serial quizzes. Normally just give it a couple of minutes for everybody to log in. We're getting to around about the 100 mark again, which is great to see. Thank you for your support as ever. Quite a few new faces or new names in the chat anyway, especially Joe Sinden. He welcome on board. He sent me a picture yesterday of him YouTubing quizzes for his Saturday night entertainment, and unfortunately this ugly mug popped up, so he's had a bit of practice there yesterday with that. So as I say, we don't want this mammoth 60 point quiz to go on for too long. I think we're probably at the start of it now, or getting there. The rounds, I'll just quickly run through what we've got. I've got a general knowledge, we will do Blockbuster again, the old favourite. Can't seem to get rid of that. The music round's back again. That does consist of 2 questions of the 60s, 2 from the 70s, 2 80s, 2 90s, and 2 noughties. Obviously, we've got the picture round, which you should have had. If not, we pop in the chat and we will send it on. You should have had that either sent to your inbox if you are on the mailing list, or we will try and post it to the Facebook. And there is a sport round. Sport round is out of the 7 questions, it's out of 7 as well. So, as I say, totaling 60. And we will get underway. We're just lingering around that 100 mark. So, great. We will kick on. Just a little freebie question just to whet your appetite, if you like, whilst we get the final few people on board. The old round, which we only had for that 1 week. True or false? Dettol and other disinfectants have been found to cure coronavirus. True or false? That, of course, is false. Anyway, on to our first round proper. So, eyes down, full house. Here we go. Round 1, general knowledge. Question number 1. It was St. George's Day in the week, but in which country was he born? It was St. George's Day in the week, but in which country was he born? No, Tim, I don't think Richard Fahey works that way. I think Richard Fahey is normally win his quiz on debut, have his next quiz at Ascot, and then get sold to somebody else for a lot of money. That's the traditional Richard Fahey quizzing way. St. George's Day in the week, but in which country was he born? Question number 2. What nationality were the soldiers who hid inside the Trojan horse? What nationality were the soldiers who hid inside the Trojan horse? What nationality were the soldiers who hid in the Trojan horse? Question number 3. The first of the food and drink questions. How many millilitres are there in a pint? How many millilitres are there in a pint? As you can see, the drink questions are starting. Pub quiz is getting a bit more aggressive on the alcohol. How many millilitres are there in a pint? That was question 3. Question number 4, multiple choice questions. So I've been told to give you a little bit more time on these. I think a bit of a feedback is that I'm not giving you long enough on the multiple choice questions. So question 4, it's worth 4 points. 4 points. We've probably all been watching a lot of soaps lately, and given it's a pub quiz, name the pubs from the following soaps: EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, and Hollyoaks. Name the pubs from EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, and Hollyoaks. Point for each. 3 are probably quite easy. 1, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. I think it was voted. Oh, it was certainly in the top. It was definitely in the top 4 of the soap pubs of the year 2013. I think I saw it was. So yeah, there you go. That's probably the tricky one. Name the pubs from EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, and Hollyoaks. But yeah, let's hope we can get racing back on in the coming month. It'd be good just to, I think they'll probably start, as we've been speaking about, on the all-weather. A few quietish meetings of kind of selected race courses. Or it looks like we're going to be selecting race courses sort of which one be all weather, and with hotels around and hotels attached, so that we can kind of keep it a little bit more confined. But things are changing on a daily basis, and obviously the owners involved in this quiz, we will be keeping you as posted on developments as soon as we can. We're sending out communications as and when we get them with regards to when racing is going to go ahead against. So EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale and Hollyoaks. Okay, we'll move on to question 5 now. Darth Vader didn't always answer to that name. What name did he answer to before he turned to the dark side? Darth Vader didn't always answer to that name. What was his name before he turned to the dark side of the Force? Nathan Jones and Tim Palin having their weekly loving. Is that a Richard Fahey dab emoji? I knew I shouldn't have told him to log in. The Lexington Force is strong in that one. Darth Vader didn't always answer to that name. What did he answer, or what was it before he turned to the dark side of the Force? Question number 6. We've all been watching a lot of this lately, but who invented the television? We've all been watching a lot of this lately, but who invented the television? The pasta, Jamie, was lovely. It was a pasta bake. But too many chopped tomatoes, so just put them in a pan, bit of onion, bit of peppers, salt, pepper, let them reduce, if you like. I don't know the technical term for it, but reduce a bit, and just whack some pasta in the oven, cheese on top, and a bit of pesto. And hey, pesto, there's your tea. Okay, on to question number 7. The concept of Big Brother was from which novel? The concept of Big Brother was from which novel? Spoiler, it wasn't Dad. It wasn't Dad. That's to the Darth Vader question. The concept of Big Brother was from which novel? Really good TV show when it started, wasn't it, Big Brother? No, it's probably still one of my mum's favourite TV shows alongside Coronation Street. I used to watch it religiously. Was it the first series that Craig won it, who went on to do Changing Rooms? Was it Craig? I think it was Craig. Anyway, question number 8. In what year did McDonald's open their first restaurant? Don't worry, I'll give you a few options. In what year did McDonald's open their first restaurant? Was it A, 1938, B, 1940, or C, 1942? In what year did McDonald's open their first restaurant? A, 1938, B, 1940, or C, 1942? As ever, if you don't know, take a guess. You've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. Thank you, Nathan. I'm well aware that McDonald's are shut. Hopefully they can be reopened as soon as possible. Very helpful on my way up to Firsk's, Rippons, etc. But Gould, McDonald's does take a battering. When it's midsummer, it's probably one of the most common occurrences on my bank statement at the end of the month is McDonald's Gould and probably the old Mill pub. A quick one on the way back in. About this is question number 9. What is the most expensive spice in the world by weight? What is the most expensive spice in the world by weight? I feel I should be doing my Jeremy Clarkson impression there. What is the most expensive spice in the world by weight? That's not so much an impression, is it? No, Dave, that's last week. That's back to the Spice Girls question from last week, the ginger spice. Was that the worst impression in the world? What is the most expensive spice in the world by weight? And finally, a big multiple choice, multiple answer question. Name the 6 main actors in the TV series Friends. A point for each. That's their real names. The actors' names, or the actors' names that they're credited with on the show, not necessarily their birth names. The credited names of the actors on the show. All 6 from Friends, point for each. Name the 6 main actors in the TV series Friends, point for each. That's probably one you're going to need a little bit of time on. Yeah, I did say the quiz was going to be a bit trickier this week. There's still some easy-ish ones in there. But yeah, it's a bit trickier this week, mate. But it is out of 60. I'm probably thinking if you're getting in the region of, I don't know, I think if you get 40, you've done really well this week. It is a tough old, good old tough one. Good old tough quiz, this. Oh, yeah, fair point, Bill. There is one actress, obviously, who did have a slight name change in there, and I will accept either, which any series they were credited their name. Don't know why my phone's just activated that. I don't know if anybody saw Channel 5 as well, from about 6:30 through to quiz time, which is obviously, as everybody knows, 8 p.m. on a Sunday. There was a TV show that might have helped you on the picture round. That wasn't by design, unless Tom Denham has had that TV show set in his Sky Plus for a fair while. I'll leave him to text me and tell me how he came up with the inspiration for that. But it's probably to do with, as I called it in the group chat in the week, Chocolate Day, which is also Easter Sunday the other week. So yeah, I'll just give you a little bit more time on that last one. Been told to do that, so just give you a little bit more time, and then what I'll do for those who haven't been here before, I'll just go through the answers for that first round, and then we'll mark our card if you like. Pop your scores in the chat, see how we're all getting on, and then we'll move on to the second round. Okay, right. I'll start on the answers, and that should just let you finish off that final question there. If you're just slightly struggling for one or two, there's probably one or two just on the tip of your tongue there that you need to be popping down. Anyway, answers. Question 1. It was St. George's Day in the week, but in which country was he born? The answer was Turkey. He was born in Turkey. Question number 2. What nationality were the soldiers who hid inside the Trojan horse? They were Greek. They went and attacked the city of Troy. It ended a 10-year war. It was a bloody 10-year war that they were having, or in the midst of. And then the Greeks decided to come up with this plan, and the single attack pretty much ended the war in a day, or in a night. They slept overnight, didn't they? They gifted him at the gates. The gates took it in. Everybody was sleeping. Down came the Greeks, and bosh. How many milliliters in a pint? 568 milliliters in a pint. And on Thursday, on Step Up Thursdays, you fill each and every one of those milliliters with an ice cold Stella. Question number 4, the first of your multiple answer questions. We've all been watching a lot of soaps lately. What are the pubs in the 4 main ones? EastEnders, that's for Queen Victoria. Coronation Street, Rover's Return. Emmerdale, The Woolpack. And Hollyoaks, probably the one you're struggling with if you don't watch it. That's The Dog in the Pond. The Dog in the Pond. I have that on good authority from a few Manchester friends on Manchester Way On, Duckingfield, Cheshire Way friends. That's what it's called, apparently. $5.70. No, it's 5.68 isn't a pint. Sorry. Question number 5. Darth Vader didn't always answer to that name. What was it before he turned to the dark side of the Force? No, it wasn't Dad. It was Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker. I wouldn't bother with episode 1. Maybe start at episode 2, 3. But when he is Darth Vader, it's a lot better. Question number 6. We've all been watching a lot of this lately, but who invented the television? John Logie Baird. He invented it on January 26th, 1926. So it's coming up for 100 years now, can you believe? John Logie Baird invented the television. The concept of Big Brother was from which novel? That's 1984 by George Orwell. I must admit my inspiration for that was Emily's reading it at a minute. I've started it about 6 or 7 times. It's a fair old slog. Normally get through to chapter 2 and abandon. Anyway, question number 8. In what year did McDonald's open their first restaurant? 38, 40 or 42? It was 1940 they opened their first restaurant. They opened their first restaurant in 1940, so B. What is the most expensive spice in the world? Question number 9. Saffron. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. The price slightly varies, obviously, depending on the quality and where and what you can haggle and yada, yada, yada. But it's roughly $3,000 for a kilo. $3,000 for a kilo. That's about 70,000 flowers go into each and every pound of saffron. No, you don't get a point for Mr. Skywalker, I'm afraid, Joy. And finally, number 10. The 6 actors, in no particular order: Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox / Courtney Cox Arquette. I think she was a couple of seasons. She was married to David Arquette. David Schwimmer, Matt LeBlanc, and Matthew Perry. Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox / Courtney Cox Arquette, David Schwimmer, Matt LeBlanc, and Matthew Perry. So that round I make out of 18. And if you want to pop in the chat quickly, how you got on there. Out of 18. I think probably in that round, let's say 13. I think 13. If you drop 5 points, you've probably done okay. I think 13 was a good shout. There's a few ones there that you probably either had to know or didn't. You know, with Friends, if you're a fan of Friends, you'll probably have got 4, 5, 6. If you weren't, you might struggle. Good Googling, Mr. Fahy. Well done. Hi, Graham. Good to see your name. Still plenty of time to improve there, Joe. Well done, Kevin. Very good every week, Mr. Horsley. Good stuff, guys. Plenty of good scores in there. Well done. Okay, we'll move on to the Blockbuster round. For those who haven't played the Blockbuster before, I'll give you a clue. Basically, it makes it a little bit easier. I'll give you the first letter of the. Are there any double answers? No, so I'll give you the first letter of the answer. I'll give you the first letter of a one-word answer, and obviously the question involved. It should become obvious as we go on. So, question number 1 of Blockbuster. This rounds out of 10. Which V has the ingredients of oil, vinegar, and seasonings? Which V has the ingredients of oil, vinegar, and seasonings? I did use that actually in the pasta, in the sauce earlier. And it does, obviously, as we say, have a slight food and drink connotation to it, as that's kind of all I've been on with this week. Which V has the ingredients oil, vinegar, and seasonings? Question number 2. What R goes before check, forest, and coat? What R goes before check, forest, and coat? Just have a little think if you don't know it. Just have a little think there. It's not immediately obvious. It should become it. What R goes before check, forest, and coat? Question number 3. What Y is the name of a river and also an 80s synth pop duo? What Y is the name of a river and also an 80s synth pop duo? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. No double points, though. No double points before anybody asks in the chat. It's just a tough one, I think. I've not asked the best question yet, though. What's everybody drinking? Of course, I've given you what I'm drinking. What are you guys drinking? Let's have that at the end of this round. Let me know what you're drinking at the end of this round. Anyway, question number 4. Clean answers only. What D is the happiest place on Earth? What D is the happiest place on Earth? What D is the happiest place on Earth? Sprout Palin's back. I still can't believe it doesn't show this at all during the week. Doesn't show that he's able to type during the week. He's terrified when he went outside for the first time. Bless him. Question number 5. What D is Ireland's only all-weather track? What D is Ireland's only all-weather track? I can literally hear Mr. Fahey kicking and screaming that he's getting one right now without having to Google. Mind you, if he has to Google it. Is that 2 that you've got right then, Richard? Or yeah, I was going to give a milkshake clue for the younger generation, but we've just given it now. Well, you've given it away in the chat, so yeah. Also helps with question 3. Question number 6. What P can be black or white, red or green, sweet or hot? What P can be black or white, red or green, sweet or hot? Just think about what I said at the start of a quiz would be the bigger clue there. One for the big fans. What L is the home of cricket? What L is the home of cricket? It's not Marsh Lane Barntown Cricket Club. What L is the home of cricket? I'm afraid to say, guys, that's not the last cricket question. For every less cricket questions, there's 2 or 3 more cricket questions. Marsh Lane, correct. Which question number 8? Which D should be the base of a pizza? What D is or should be the base of a pizza? What D is or should be the base of a pizza? Question number 9. What I is a place to live constructed of ice and snow? What I is a place to live constructed of ice and snow? It isn't Ice Hotel before anybody asks. Because that's 2 words. $115 people on. Thank you very much. I hope you're all having a good time. 114. Obviously, I'm aware we're probably speaking to more than 115 people. That's 115 streams. So thank you very much to everybody who's participating. Hopefully we're enjoying it. Anyway, enough boring it. On to question 10, final one of the round. What F is given to a ball wrongly served at tennis? What F is given to a ball wrongly served at tennis? So that rounds out of 10. I'll just give you another minute to confer. And then I'll give you the answers. If you've got your answers, do you want to pop in the chat what beverage we've all got for the evening? Just intrigued to know, really. Some inspiration for next week. Of course you have, Andrew. Great shout, Dave Goff. Great shout. 2 sugars. Good work. Wow, lots of drinks coming in. Oh, the Krabby's ginger beer. Yeah, that's a nice little drink. That ginger beer's got the most sugar in out of any soft drink. It's got the most sugar in. I'll Google that for next week. Good work. Okay, so that round out of 10, your answers are question number 1. Which V has the ingredients of oil, vinegar, and seasonings? That's vinaigrette. Vinaigrette. Used a little bit in the sauce earlier, which was nice. Number 2. What R goes before check, forest, and coat? That's rain. Rain check, rainforest, raincoat. As I say, you just have a little think. It suddenly becomes a bit more obvious. Number 3, including the milkshake clue that people gave. What Y is the name of a river and also an 80s synth pop duo? Yazoo. Yazoo. I think their biggest hit was Only You. Still used in lots of adverts to date. Covered many, many times. Great song. Alison Moyet, wasn't it? And I want to say Vince Clarke. Could be wrong. Alison Moyet. Question number 4. What D is the happiest place on earth? Clean answers only. That's Disneyland. That was a nice little titter there. Question number 5. What D is Ireland's only all-weather track? That's Dundalk. Question number 6. What P can be black or white, red or green, sweet or hot? Bearing in mind it's got a slight food or drink connotation. That's pepper. Black pepper, white pepper, red peppers, green peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers. What L, number 7, what L is the home of cricket? That's Lords. Lords. A few of us went round there a few years ago. Brilliant. If you're into cricket, which I know many of the chat are, you've got to go and do it at some point. Just the history is fantastic. Just to sit where some of the greats have sat. And it's just great that obviously current England captain Joe Root can sit where I sat, and I'm sure that flatters him to this date. Question number 8. What D is or should be the base of a pizza? It's a dough. Question number 9. What I is a place to live constructed of ice and snow? It's an igloo. An igloo. And finally, number 10. What F is given to a ball wrongly served at tennis? That is a fault. Foot fault or a net fault. It's a fault. So that's out of 10. Just post in the chat how you've got on. The cat is absolutely scratching at something, so I'm just going to quickly go and ignore him and move him. So if you just quickly pop in the chat how you've gone, and I'll be back in one moment. Okay, I literally can't get him. He's chasing around the house. I've just been following him. So, yeah, great. Thanks, Sprout. How have we all got on? Sprout Palin's back in the chat. Yeah, that doesn't really help. Yeah, everybody's done good. Just scrolling back up there. Everybody's done great. Well done, everybody. Sprout, just... Anyway, everybody, just before we go into the next round, shall we charge our glasses? Just, empty there. That's the special sound for the right clan. Hi, Dave. Good to have you on board. Dave Borton is with us. Obviously, many of you are probably familiar with Dave. He does a lot of our Southern representing work. He's a great person to be with at a race. It's probably far more fun than any of the real Middleham, any of the Middleham Park team. He's probably the most fun of us all. Okay, right. Enough boring of you. We'll move on to the music round now. It's got a bit more structure to it this week, like I said. So we've got 2 questions from the 60s, 2 70s, 2 80s, 2 90s, 2 noughties. But what we're going to do is the first question of each round is going to be a set of lyrics. And what I want for each set of lyrics is both the song and the artist. So a point for each. I know some people are good at songs, at the titles, and some people are good at artists. I know my mum is good at one and my dad is good at the other, and they're terrible at the opposites. So I want a point for, there's a point for each, the song and the artist from the lyrics. And then the second question is just going to be some form of trivia, some question from that particular decade. No extra point for the album, but if you want to for your own sake, please be my guest. Okay, so question 1. It's going to be the lyrics from the 60s. Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. That's not it. I would like the song and the artist. Come here, you. Little Sprout, as he's chasing round, not happy to be here. Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. I'm not going to sing it here anyway. I'm not going to sing it. Lewis, I would like the song and the artist, please. Question number 2. 60s again. Which band had hits with Sloop John B and Wouldn't It Be Nice from their 1966 album Pet Sounds? Which band had hits with Sloop John B and Wouldn't It Be Nice from the 1966 album Pet Sounds? I sometimes put commas where I need to take a little break in the sentence, and I didn't want to give away the answer, so that's why I paused at the Pet Sounds. Which band has hits with Sloop John B and Wouldn't It Be Nice from the 1966 album Pet Sounds? Question number 3. So we're moving on to the 70s. Lyrics again. So again, I want the song and the artist. Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. Point for the song, point for the artist. I think we're getting on for the most viewers we've ever had now. Welcome, everybody. Question number 4, still in the 70s. Who had hits in the 70s with Fox on the Run, Ballroom Blitz, and Little Willie? No jokes. Who had hits in the 70s with Fox on the Run, Ballroom Blitz, and Little Willie? He's kind of calmed down now, a Sprout. Question number 5. We are moving on to the 80s. Lyrics. So, point for the artist, point for the title. We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Point for the title, point for the artist. Question 6, again, 80s. Who were the first band to perform at Live Aid in 1985? Who were the first band to perform, as in guitars and stuff, at Live Aid in 1985? Not the first person you saw or anything like that. Who was the first band to perform? Which is great. Right, we're moving on a decade now. As I say, it was a decade for everybody. Into the 90s. Brilliant decade. Lyrics, again. So, one for the artist and one for a title, please. You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say. You might notice that there's three lines of lyrics for each one. You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say. Point for the artist and point. How many milliliters are in a pint? And a point for the song. Question number 8. Which band were having a disco in the year 2000 attended by common people? Which band were having a disco in the year 2000 attended by common people? Question 9, into the noughties now. Lyrics. Surprise, surprise. Point for the artist, point for the title. I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see. Painted faces fill the places I can't reach. Again. I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see. Painted faces fill the places I can't reach. Again, three lines of lyrics. And finally, this round, use sprout bacon. Hail imitation. Finally, number 10. Which band wanted to know where the love was in 2003? Which band wanted to know where the love was in 2003? Make that round out of 15. Hopefully you all enjoyed the slight variation on the music round. Let's give you another quick few seconds whilst we wait. We should just get done just over the hour in total. Okay. Right. The answers for the music round out of 15. Question number 1. Where it began, I can't begin to know when, but then I know it's growing strong. Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond, the Jewish Elvis. The Jewish Elvis, Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. I'm sure many people know that. If you've ever been to the cricket, you will be you'll be well versed in that. Question number 2. Which band had hits with Sloop John B and Wouldn't It Be Nice on the 1966 album Pet Sounds? That was a Beach Boys. Beach Boys. Or the darts as well. Pretty much any sporting event where people are having a drink, having a good time. Question number 3. Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she's always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a lady. Tom Jones. Not Tom Palin, Tom Jones. Question number 4. Who had hits in the 70s with Fox on the Run, Ballroom Blitz, and Little Willie? That was a Sweet. Pouring Blitz has been covered by just about any band going, hasn't it? Into the 80s. We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Take on me. Take on me. Went for each. Who were the first band to perform at Live Aid in 1985? Status Quo, or Status Quo if you're American. Status Quo. The 90s. You are my fire, the one desire. I'm not even going to do the rest of that. It's really terrible. Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. That actually requires you to sing, not just murder it. Question number 8. Which band were having a disco in the year 2000 attended by common people? That was Pulp, Jarvis Cocker's band, Pulp. Yeah, it is a little bit reminiscent of Vic Reeves, isn't it? Number 9. I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see. Yeah, killed it now, haven't I? Anyway, it was Kings of Leon, Use Somebody. Kings of Leon, Use Somebody. Not Sex on Fire. Can't stand that song. It got so overplayed when it came out. And finally, in the music round, question number 10. Which band wanted to know where was the love? That's a Black Eyed Peas. So I'll make that out of 15. How have you all got on? If you still have eardrums remaining. So point for the artist, point for the title in the lyrics rounds, and then 1 for the trivia. 5. That's a bad show, Richard. Oh, lots of 5s. It's kind of a bit mixed and matched, this, actually. It's either low or high. It's kind of like my singing. I say singing. The music round can definitely do one if I have to sing. Anyway, we will go on to the sport round in a moment. Good effort. If you want to post the score you've got in total at this point. Wow, that's a bit uncalled for. Mind you, it's just started raining here. I don't think that's a coincidence, though. If you want to post how many you've got in total before we go into a final question asking round, that'll be great. Okay, right. There's only 7 in this round, so then we can make it a nice round total. Some good scores. Like I say, it's out of 60, but obviously we've got the big point scoring or quick fire point scoring round, the picture round, to come as well. And I think, as I say, if you get around 40, 45, you're in total, you've probably done quite well. It's quite a tricky one. I promise I'll make next week's a little bit easier. I don't promise I'll sing well. Okay, on to the sport round. Question number 1. Name the now retired from competition horse that Charlotte Dujardin rode to individual gold in both London 2012 and Rio 2016. Name the now retired from competition horse that Charlotte Dujardin rode to individual Olympic gold in both London 2012 and Rio 2016. I've only got 28. You got my answers. Or you're probably just a bit mindful of that singing. Mind you, you've had nigh on 30 years of it. Question number 2. Nicky Henderson, OBE, has been crowned champion national hunt trainer again. It's supposed to be officially on Saturday, wasn't it? The Saturday gone. How many times has he now won the title? And if you're that knowledgeable on him, give me the years. No points for the years, but if you want to pop them down, I'll give you the years as well. Nicky Henderson OBE has been crowned champion national hunt trainer again. How many times has he now won the title? Question number 3. In which sport would competitors use a piece of equipment known as a foil? In which sport would competitors use a piece of equipment known as a foil? I must say that question caught me out when I saw it. Question number 4. Now, I know there's a few people been asking for this genre of sporting questions, so ask and you shall receive. Question number 4. What is the target ball known as in bowls? I don't think it makes a difference. I don't want to go out on a limb because I'm not that well versed, but I don't think it makes a difference if it's crown green or indoor or any other variation of bowls. In what is the target ball known as in bowls? I'm not sure Mr. Fahy can be an OBE, can he? I think you've got to be a member of Great Britain, haven't you? Or am I wrong, Richard? I think we had this discussion before when AP McCoy was knighted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, there's a bit of bowls hating going on. That's a bit rude. We've got quite a few bowls aficionados in the syndicate. Anyway, question number 5 for those cricket lovers: which batsman has scored the most Test runs ever? Which batsman has the most Test runs ever? There we go. The old cricket round. Which batsman has most runs ever? Question number 6. Which golfer has the most appearances in the Ryder Cup? Obviously, that should have been this year. I think it's cancelled, or at least postponed, isn't it? Which golfer has the most appearances in the Ryder Cup? Ryder Cup probably isn't one of them sports you want to play behind. Well, one of them sports, one of them events, contests you want to play behind closed doors, is it? It's one of those which you do need the crowd to get really into it. It's actually on a bucket list of things to do, probably over there in America. I did see that they're doing. There's one coming up at Blackpage North, Blackpage, something like that, in New York. I'm sure the golfers, the true golfers anyway, are just screaming at me now. But it's it's still on, Stephen's saying at this stage. So the Ryder Cup is still on. It's definitely not one you want to play behind closed doors, so I'm sure everybody will agree. Blackpage, I don't know. Come on, what is it? Bethpage Black, that's it. Bethpage Black. Thank you very much. No, all time. Not European or USA. There's one coming up there. Not the next one, but it's one coming up. I think is it 2024? That's the one doing that. That's probably one I really want to go to, that one. Anyway, and finally, the last asked question of the night. What bike number does Valentino Rossi ride? What bike number does Valentino Rossi ride? I'm sure many of you have seen the video from a couple of weeks ago of a certain someone being extremely happy with an answer. I think it was Bob Geldof was the answer. This one's especially for him. Okay, all the questions should be in the chat. So if you've missed any at any point, please go back, have a look. Obviously, go scroll through a fair bit of nonsense chat from a few particular people. But that should be all the questions asked. So I'll just give you one quick second, and then I'll give you the answers of sport, and I'll give you the answers of the picture round, and then I would like you to post your total scores. Okay, so sport. Question 1. Name the now retired from competition horse that Charlotte Dujardin rode to individual gold in both London 2012 and Rio 2016. That's Vallegro. I think he's still, there's a few exhibits, etc., Olympias and the likes, but he's now retired from true competition. Vallegro, I think he was owned by Carl Hester and a few others, but Vallegro. Nicky Henderson, OBE, has been crowned champion national hunt trainer again. Pleased to report that sort of for like the last 15 years, worth of national hunt trainers, we've got horses with both. Shares will be available, if not currently. So if you are interested in getting involved, there you go. There's a plug for the data. How many times has Nicky Henderson been champion trainer? That's 6 times. 6 times. But here's the thing for me. He's been in training 40 odd years, but he's won 4 since a certain blue and orange silks have been in the yard. I'm not saying there's a correlation there, but so the years, if you were playing 85, 86, 86, 87, and then 2012, 2013, 2016, 2017, 17, 18, and 19, 20, and obviously this year. So it's 6 for them since Middleham Park have been in the yard. There was a fairly significant horse that we did miss out on, or was on our website for a while. I've probably told this story to all the National Hunt owners before. Might Bite. We bought, the first horse was Premier Bond, second horse was Towering, we ever bought. Premier Bond third in the Kim York Festival. Towering was a handicap winner at Cheltenham during the October meeting. We sold both of those out, and we were offered a Son of Scorpion half brother to beat that. He turned out to be Might Bite. I think we'd sold, I think he appeared on my website for a couple of moments, but unfortunately we had to give him back. So sometimes when we do offer horses, the good ones can sometimes slip away if we don't get enough support. So we do sometimes want people to get to us as soon as you can, rather than waiting. I think it's kind of that moral of that story. Question number 3. In which sport would competitors use a piece of equipment known as a foil? That's fencing. Question number 4. What is a target ball known as in bowls? That's a jack. Which batsman has the most test runs ever? That's Sachin Tendulkar, or Sachin Tendulkar if you are Donald Trump visiting India. He's got, to be precise, 15,921 in 200 matches. Question number 6. Which golfer has the most appearances in the Ryder Cup? Phil Mickelson with 12. And finally, what bike number does Valentino Rossi ride? That's number 46. So, how many did you get in that round? If you want to post in the chat, and then I will give you the answers for the chocolate bar round, if you want to call it that. Ooh, seems like it was a bit of a tougher sport round this week. I know I've only got a limited number of sport questions, so I try and vary them, but also make them a little bit different and a little bit tricky rather than just easy ones. Anyway, so how many have you got in total going into the picture round? My emails have just closed. Picture round answers. There we go. Okay. Oh, well, it's a lot of people are well within that 40 benchmark that I kind of set as a good score. I think if you get that sort of score, you're in a good place. And if you get north of 40, it was a tough one. As I say, I'll probably try and make next week's a little bit easier. So, your picture round. The answers. Number 1, Mars. Number 2, Twirl. Number 3, Twix. Number 4, a Bounty. Number 5, Crunchy. Number 6, Whisper. Number 7, Toffee Crisp. Number 8, Flake. Number 9, a Milky Way. And number 10, a Lion Bar, which is my favourite chocolate bar. It's not really a chocolate bar. So that's out of 10. Obviously, add that to your score, and let's see how you got on. I'll just quickly run through those again. Mars, Twirl, Twix, Bounty, Crunchy, Whisper, Toffee Crisp, Flake, Milky Way, Lion Bar. Number 11, Diabetes. So, how did we all get on? As I say, I think if you got north of 40, done well. North of 45, particularly well. Of course, my sister got all 10 chocolates. Well done. I'll be sure to run 5K tomorrow for you, not 4.93. It might be a little bit later on in the day, though. Everybody's kind of doing very well there. Lots of north of 40 answers. Oh, Stephen, Judy. Jamie, come on, I expected better than you. It's better. Good work, guys. Anyway, I've kept you about 10 minutes longer than I normally do, so apologies for that. I'm sure you've probably got more exciting things to do than sit and watch this ugly mug. So I'll just close by saying thank you very much for joining us once again. We'll be back next week. And hopefully we should be another week closer to getting out of this lockdown and getting back racing. So thank you very much for joining us once again, and hopefully you've all had an enjoyable time. If you want to post in the Facebook, on the Twitter, what you got, and if you've got any pictures from the quiz, or if you want to just quickly take one, that'd be great. Then we can just see what everybody's been up to whilst in partaking in this week's quiz. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all again next week. Stay safe.